I actually wrote an article for the Cape Cod Times about this one, about this beach. That's this green seaweed that I'm holding here. This is called Codium. Codium is a highly invasive seaweed that was introduced into our area in the 60s, presumably on a batch of oysters that came from Europe through Canada and into the United States. My guess is the seaweed that's all piled up down there could be part of it. And then we see down here. At any rate, Codium was so bad here occasionally, but again, it's not that bad today. When you say, Melanie, compared to the last time we were here, it forms huge mats up and down this beach. And I noticed that where I live in Katuitt, at Oregon Beach and the Loop Beach last winter, a couple of winters ago, it was so thick it was interfering with the waves coming. Now, why is that the case? Well, first of all, Codium can grow year-round. So it has a competitive advantage of other species. But it also is what we call cenocytic, which means there are no cross walls between the cells. So it's like a giant cell. So if I were to tear this apart and throw it back in the water, I have now two growing plants. It's a problem for shell fishermen because the holdfast, which gets real thick and big, we'll probably find some, grows right over the filter feeding siphons of shellfish, so that they're unable to filter feed. And then it also is very buoyant, so it removes them right out of the environment and dislodges them up on shore. It can also attach to scallops. You were mentioning scallops earlier. And you know how they have that little jet propulsion movement in the water, the feeding? It can also weigh them down. So it can have an adverse impact on shellfish populations. And then it grows so abundantly that it blocks off sunlight to eelgrass. And therefore, it's a real big problem. It can also grow through a process called parthenogenesis, which means that the female cells can grow into a large, complete organism without fertilization. Again, there are some species can do that. So again, an invasive species is one that has competitive advantages over the other species in an area. Why now? Why is Codium suddenly becoming a problem? I can't answer that. It's been about 5-6 years I've noticed it, and others have too. Wareham's had a big problem. This part of the Cape, not so much a problem in the lower Cape. That may be due because those are colder temperatures. Let's take it again. So maybe
well,
the warm
was all over